Hi everyone, I'm Jake Kelly and you're watching Life as an Artist. So we're back at the studio. It's photography day. I'm down here with my friend Tim, who's setting all the equipment up.
Hey guys.
I've got the booth in here sorted. So I've got this kind of crude screen that was a nightmare to put together, but it's done now. I've got a reflector up here and another reflector down here, and this other screen with a nice curtain to get the work in and out. I'm gonna hang the work here, and Tim's gonna shoot from over there. Nightmare just happened. He dropped it in a puddle of paint.
Also part of the toilet paper.
So we've got the flashes set up now. They're being quite difficult. We've tried them behind the screen and with the lights on, with the lights off, and now we've put them on the inside here. And Tim's just about to set it off. And you can see what happens. It's a little bit dark, but no, it's probably way too dark. How do you think it's going to?
Pretty good. Still not happy. But...
So we're halfway through the photo shoot now, and I've been working on this while Tim's been photographing. And you can see here. So it's taken a lot longer than I expected, but basically I'd wrapped the metal up a few months ago in like tape and plastic to protect it. And then as I peel this back, I'll shine it up and it'll give a really nice contrast between the bright white and the kind of industrialized metal sort of finish. Tim's just having a little edit over here, getting there, and we're just photographing this one actually upside down because of the aspect ratio. We've just got this piece over here, this piece over here, and the two pieces that I'm cleaning up left to go, and we're going to be done for the day. Yeah, alright guys, so we're just wrapping up, we're just finished. Well, Tim's just finished. This last piece was a bit of a nightmare. We end up making a bit of a mess out of the wall. Hi everybody, so back in the studio after the photo shoot on the weekend. The place is quite a mess, so I'm just going to do a little bit of a tidy up. I'm going to clean up some of the spaces over here. A lot of the carpets are really absolutely caked in paint, so I'm going to probably chop them up and maybe put them around the edges instead to absorb some of the paint when I paint on these walls. And I've got a new piece that I'm going to stick in the centre. So I've finished the last unit and now I've planned to start a new unit, but the studio really needs a good clean up. I'm going to totally, gut the place and like start again. The walls that are in here we're going to leave out, and I'm going to have a bit of space, make a series of new frames, and then in a couple of months I'll start putting the surfaces on them, or I might play and put a few surfaces on earlier. And then in 3 or 4 months, that'll be when I'll be painting again, and I'll put up the other walls that were back, or whatever space I need to use to paint. Alright then. Okay everyone, kind of midway through the cleanup. I don't know if you can see that in the background. The floor's looking, well, there's a much more open space here, and it's well, it looks kind of full of potential, really. I set up the studio maybe 2 years ago or something, and it's been quite similar, like the position of everything's been similar since the start. So I'm just thinking, oh, perhaps I've got an opportunity here to rejig everything and maybe make some of the problems go away. For example, when I'm making the frames over here, this space here isn't that long for the saw, and also there's this funny lip here, where you know, the desk isn't actually the same level. So I'm thinking of maybe putting this cabinet sideways, or yeah, and I've got to find a place for the 3D printer to go that's a bit more stable. Right now it's just shoved over there out of the way from when I had the photo shoot. And also an update with the photo shoot. We're gonna do another one in about 2 weeks time with a different light setup. Some of the photos weren't precisely what I wanted, so I've got to redo some of the wall, and I've also just got a package of some mirror plates, which is great. I was getting low on these. These are basically, you attach them to the back of the work and they attach to the wall. I can show you here actually. This is the back of a piece of work, and these are basically them, and then they just screw into the wall like so. And on top of that I've got this large white tarpaulin, don't know how to pronounce it correctly. It's a big white sheet anyway, so when the wall is completely and utterly finished, I'll tack the new sheet over on the photography wall, and I'll still work on it, and there'll be screws that go through it and everything, but in 6 months time or something, when I'm going to do the next shoot for the unit of work that I'm going to produce in the next sort of 6 months, I'll just sort of have to rip down the protective layer, the tarpaulin, and just fill in the couple of holes and maybe just give it one layer of paint, because it was quite materially intensive this time to put up this entire wall, and I don't really want to damage it completely and have to redo it all. It seems like seems like quite a waste of materials. So I'm going to crack on with the cleanup, and yeah, I'll give you an update when I've decided a few more things. Okay, so I'm still doing the cleanup, and I've just come to the conclusion. Well, I've just decided that I had a problem when I was making the previous unit. This is a solid wall here with like a plasterboard, but originally the walls I put up are vertical like wooden joists, but it's just a canvas skin over that. Now there's a long complicated reason for that, but I'll go into that in the future. It's another series of work that I do called Deconstructed Authenticity, but again I'll discuss that in the future. The problem now though is that when I was making the previous unit, when I was making the unit previous to the unit that I've just made, I had a lot of square frames. So these vertical joists didn't pose a problem because I put a screw in and they'd hang, and they were quite evenly balanced. But a lot of these pieces, their centre of gravity is actually, well, difficult to utilise, or difficult to, it doesn't matter. So what I want to do is put in a load of horizontal beams. So the walls that were basically up here a few weeks ago that I was using to paint the previous unit, I'm now pulling apart. There's a big pile of them here, but they've got a lot of screws and brackets and other bits and pieces. So I'm just cleaning them up, taking all the bits out, and then I'm going to put in some horizontal joists just on the surface here. So basically it makes the wall a lot more versatile to work with. So there shouldn't be a problem next time I'm hanging these kind of shapes on the wall. Okay, just so you know what's going on. All right, so I've just discovered something a bit bad. When I was building this wall, I had to kind of straighten it all out a little bit. The wall wasn't perfectly even, so I put a few washers behind some of the horizontal beams in order to make it flat. So I thought, oh, maybe this one might be a bit similar. I'm not sure if you can see. When I put this one here, oh, it actually looks quite straight on the camera, but in real life, it's horrific. The offset difference is this, if you see. Oh, well, there you go. That looks pretty bad. So I've got to really now decide, do I care if it's a bit wonky, because they're just cross beams to screw pieces to paint properly, but it looks quite messy and it's going to annoy me. I think I'm just going to put it all up and then see what it looks like, and if it's really awful I guess I can redo it in a couple of weeks.